you can see, it is less than a minute to the start of the tournament. I played this tournament last week, and well, I was close to getting 4 to 4, which is the goal in this tournament. It is only 4 rounds. It is 10 plus 2 seconds increment, and yeah, last Sunday I got 3 out of 4 with an unfortunate loss that, yeah, was due to a blunder and a time pressure, so hopefully I can redeem myself today. As you can see, second seed. So far, still stronger players can join, and also like 2187 that's still within range. And also, you know, even weaker players on the paper can do some damage. But here we go. We are on their first game. I think I'll switch to this scene. For the games that we see pawn g4. No way, this dude's trolling me. Okay, well, let's play this normal. h5. h5 is surely fine to play. And then this. Okay, I mean, like, what is this, dude? Like, yeah, I'm sure that my opponent knows this better than I do, but still, in a rapid game, I'm gonna be able to refute this. But yeah, first round we should win. The next one we also should win, and then the last 2 rounds are like, second seed. I should win everything, but we'll see. It is very nice. What I like about this a lot is that there is an increment of 2 seconds, because when I usually grind, it's just 2 minutes with 0 second increment. So yeah, sometimes you just get flagged and there's nothing you can really do. You could play faster, of course, but you know. Okay, so knight c3. Who's the pawn? I'm already at the pawn on the king side. I guess that none of us gonna castle there. And the queen cannot really develop, which might be the classical idea. Yeah, I'll go out with my bishop and then go e6. Knight c3 definitely is not the way. You do wanna go c4 when you are white, and if you would somehow find yourself in this kind of position, definitely go c4 and try maybe queen b3 and put pressure on that d5 pawn. Like this, yes, there's knight c3 that is also putting pressure on the d5 pawn, but generally in d4 d5 openings, you definitely want to have your c pawn pushed in front of the knight. But okay, we got bishop g5 on this move. When I go e6, I go into a stealth pin, but I can unpin on the very next move, so it should not be a big problem. Also, if e4, I can take. Then okay, this diagonal opens up. Not gonna lie. There's at least a little something, I guess, from my opponent. So is e6 fine or not? I think 97 might be better. Cause yeah, 97 looks good. Although, watch out. I can play it though, because of this knight. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can go 97. There are tactics on that knight, currently, so you cannot win that pawn. Maybe you would be thinking about something like e4, I'm not sure. Okay, preparing with f3. That's an interesting idea. You could also go e5. That would be really aggressive. Can I go e6, e4, and bishop g4? That might be too much. And then e5, and my knight is trapped. Hold on, so this is actual level, a little something. I can also just give up the bishop though, which is what I'll do. So yeah, I'll go e6 and then yeah, okay, give up my bishop for that knight and bishop e7. Do I want to take first though? If I do, I kind of improve. I think improve the pieces of my opponent. Okay, let's take. Let's take on h3. Bishop takes, yeah. Now, okay, I think I wanna take. Yeah, you wanna take, I think. Because if I wouldn't have taken, there would be e5 and I wouldn't have a square on d5 for that knight. I wouldn't have a nice square for that knight at all. h5 would be bad. Although playable, but not ideal. This one seems just fine, but I gotta admit, the game's more interesting than maybe even should have been, because I'm sure that yeah, that there was a better way to play it against the Grop, which by the way might be the worst opening move according to the engines, at least some of them. Here you do not get anything by capturing with the knight, so FE should be automatic almost. Or for me it would be, but definitely I can also think when the moves are automatic to play. I'm a big thinker, kinda. Even though, yeah, I know more amongst my chess colleagues, but yeah. Okay, FE, there it is. And now bishop e7 to unpin, so there is no e5 action. But I have to say that I am a little bit crammed down. I am. But I think that d5 was too quick. It's too much. So I take. If knight takes, I take. So ed is necessary, and then I got 95, I believe. So I can breathe a little. Yeah, let's take. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Ain't no way. I have missed this idea. Now I feel so dumb. And the worst part is that it's not even for anything. It's just a rook. Oh my gosh. Against a 500, no way. Well, this ain't gonna be redemption, and oh my goodness. Yeah. Simply, I don't know. I'm so stuck with rapid chess. I don't know why that is. Because, guys, off stream, like, I mean, classical chess, my classical chess has been awesome recently. But stuff that I can do, these things is just unbelievable. I got 2 pawns, but like, whoa. And of course I knew about the tactic, but I just yeah yeah I forgot about it at this moment. I knew about it when I took. I knew about the fact that there is an undefinite rook. Haven't seen any checks, but then yeah d5 created it very nicely, and it is already quite kind of unpleasant there. I have to say. Yeah, taking with the knight if take, there would be simple queen e2, forcing a queen trade to which would be awful. Yeah, the fact that the queen is under attack is really not bad because if I would castle, then maybe I could hope that I can trick my opponent still, but like this, I don't believe it. Okay, let's try queen d6. Like the white king is a bit open, so there is a check maybe. Like okay, I'm not gonna give up just yet, but bro, like I have no idea how could such a thing happen, man. 1500 beating me with a grub opening. Oh gosh, that's peak. I think that e5 maybe should be played here, but yeah, okay, queen there, queen g4, nice move. Preventing me from castling. Yeah, with castles, like I said, maybe that like this, it's terrible. Let's go c6. Try to get some checks in, but I don't know. I'm so pissed off now. Like what the? What is going on? Yeah, I guess it just once again quite an unusual pattern to lose a rook on the H file, but like still with so much time also. Waiting for my opponent's move, waiting for a blunder back, but yeah, seems unlikely. Seems really unlikely. Okay, knight back to c3. I still cannot castle. I think I have to go something like rook d8, but even if I do, there is rook d1. And there really quite aren't even any checks that I could try and give. Maybe a check on e3 to to try and confuse. Okay, if I go queen c5, queen side castles by white, then it's over. If I go rook d8, rook d1. Okay, I might go rook queen d4. Cannot castle and threatens a check. I'm not exactly sure what that check does, so maybe secretly could hit the rook. At this point, I'm just trying to play the trickiest moves that I can find. Okay, yeah. Getting that rook there. Once I go there, knight e2 defends everything, and then queen d7 will be a checkmate. That's how simple it is. But let's go down that line, yeah. And then on d7. I can barely even stop that. King e7 was a necessity. And then okay, I don't even see. Try. Maybe if queen takes, there is knight e6. I mean, if the queen moves somewhere, hits, there is a tension. I don't know, something. But the knight defends the king very nicely, so the queen cannot really do any damage. The knight is also very slow, and there is a problem with that rook. I like this. Definitely is hopeless. I'm not gonna lie. What a blunder! This is definitely one of the worst ones I've had on a stream. Queen goes there, trying to infiltrate, trying to get d5. Amazing. Not so much I can really do, is there? Is there? If I go there, queen check, 96, rook takes. What could be the last trick I set up here? With my queen under attack, it's not so easy to think of anything. It really ain't. Let's try queen c5, maybe nc. Like this leads us, I saw this, and then I'll go like king e6. Yeah, okay, let's just try king e6. There wasn't really much else to do. To try. Okay, and I check. To f6 then. there is a queen trade. There is a simple queen trade. With queen e6 I saw that, but no real way to prevent that, fortunately. Okay, rook check there instead. So either there or to g5. I could also try knight e6 maybe. That may be the best practical shot. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, of course, there's a rook. The position's awful, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, knight took. That's actually what I was hoping for, because now I should be having checks. And the only way to dodge them is to go there. And then if I go there to go up, I mean, I'm gonna give that check for sure. And then, is there a perpetual? I'm hoping so. Or is there any way to maybe try and actually still win? Okay, well, you know what? If I draw, the tournament is over anyway. Let's try to confuse and win this. Because I'm one move away from checkmate. There will be, of course, a check somewhere. Might lead to checkmate. I don't know. Might lead to checkmate very soon. Yeah, I think going here is practically a bit better. There was actually a fork. Let's go up, I think. Yeah, let's go up. Let's go up all the way. I cannot believe this, guys. Yeah, like I got really, really lucky, man, with this win. Actually, I think in this position, I might even be winning. No, it is a draw if you find c3 as white, so I actually managed to confuse my opponent. That's like, what was this game, man? And how the hell was I able to win this? Come on. In this position, oh my goodness. Why haven't I thought of it? That yeah, knight takes d5. Quite an obvious move actually. But I simply forgot about this. Which apparently, oh my gosh, if you take with the king it is just fine. So even here my tactical awareness was at 0. Well, anyway, just somehow, yeah, I got that game that I definitely did not deserve. Yeah, like this, of course, is definitely better for black, your upper pawn. Here, perhaps, yeah, e6 was not very aggressive. c6 was better. I thought of that. c5, although typical move, I was not thinking in such aggressive ways. But okay, let's go back here after first round survival. Let's try to do better in the next one, because this one, I mean, let's just forget about it and move on. refresh my mind with a sip of water. And okay, so still have a shot at that 4 out of 4, which is the goal. Let's see, any surprises? Okay, there is a draw, and then there were no further surprises, it seemed. Okay, go to white pieces. Let's try and play the English. Okay, knight c3. 5 is, yeah, just reversed Sicilian. So you usually go d5 here. You of course don't have to, but now you no longer can. So you should. You should be playing that. Okay, let's go knight f3, attack that pawn. And you can castle. If e4, knight g5, and the pawn cannot be defended. So that's the idea there. Okay, so how do we approach this? Okay, maybe a3, b4. I also should play d3 or e3. Maybe both of those moves very soon. Okay, so here it is. And okay, I can go 91 and it's probably somewhat okay, but I believe that this actually just should be fine, right? It is a triple attack and it is only defended once. So you cannot defend, there is no discovery that you could defend it with 2 pieces in one move, you know? So the bishop goes there and I'm already winning a pawn. Okay, this is much better start to the previous game, even though in that one I won a pawn even earlier than on move 9. But yeah, here the position is definitely much more stable. Okay, even won a bishop here. For some reason my opponent took with the bishop, you should just take with the knight. Or maybe don't take at all. But you should not be capturing with the bishop. Did I still go b4? I think I do. I can. Let's go b4. Maybe put some pressure and definitely put this bishop on a long diagonal. My opponent can take and then put the bishop on f6. However, then I'll just move the rook and go bishop b2 afterwards. Rook b8 setting up maybe b5, but even if b5, I think I can just take or c5 or d3. Yeah, everything should be fine. So let's just put the bishop on b2. Getting a very nice long diagonal. And then, yeah, likely I should push also the pawns in the center. But this is a very comfortable and stable position. It's just a clear pawn and bishop here, and all in all a position. Okay, knight took, so we just trade. Now I have these two bishops. There I go, queen c2 to defend and put pressure. I think I do. Makes sense. I was thinking whether to keep the bishop on this diagonal in the attack or on g2, that diagonal. slicing the queen side, but also protecting the king. All in all, both options seem very good, but yeah, I think I can leave the bishop on e4 for the time being. There is no big need to rush with the bishop anywhere. The knight also is not very good there, which is nice. Nice thing that I like. I think I'll go d4 now. These bishops will get traded anyway, likely. Even though bishop f6 is not possible now. Hmm. Um. You know what I'm thinking about. If I go d4, bishop f6, then d5 or whatever, these bishops get traded off. If I don't, bishop f6 is not good because I can just take and ruin the pawn structure. So I might just go back with the bishop, honestly. Well, it is very good. It is also in a way of the pawns a little bit. Okay, let's just go back with the bishop to g2. There's for sure nothing wrong with that. Might not be a move that creates the most amount of pressure on my opponent, but still very fine. Okay, rook e8 makes sense. I think I'll go rook e1 myself. Put the rooks on the e and the d file because I definitely want to advance those pawns. I just want to wait for the best moment to do it. And the moment might be now. Or is it now? Maybe e4. Yeah, okay, let's go e4 first, or was that a good approach? I mean, anything is fine. Anything is fine. Something is still better and something is still worse. But now I believe I can go d4. And just take the full center, yeah. Now it is the right time. Now it seems to be the right time. I could also go f4 and that would be insane. That would be insane. Such a pawn structure. Okay, yeah, bishop f6, and can't I now go d5, hit the queen? Queen can defend though. So can I go e5? Takes, 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 takes. I might. There's f4. So I might go e5 actually. Yeah, if you take everything, I believe there is f4. Okay, if there is a bishop, this would be a check, so you cannot do that. But you can play that immediately when there is a knight. So I'm actually quite sure that e5 is possible. With this rook staring at the queen and this f-pawn ready to win a piece there. So I don't think you can take. Okay, so you just cannot. In conclusion, or can you by any chance? No, 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 you cannot. I was thinking maybe like you win somehow like two rooks for the queen, but in a process you would always lose a piece also, so that's a problem. So you have to go back to e7, and then I think I can just go f4. There will be threats of f5. This knight is very bad by itself. Won't be able to go anywhere. Okay, knight f8 and knight h8, like those two moves. Okay, but I really don't mind those. Yeah, just bishop e7 should be the only move. Yes, like okay, okay. So okay, interesting idea. I think I see it. If I take queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, bishop f1, rook d1. That might be idea, and that is the idea, I believe. Okay, so apparently my opponent found an interesting option, but now f4. What about that? About that, no checks currently on diagonal. Beneficial for me. Now the bishop still has to go back, and then maybe f5 will just win a piece immediately. Also, yeah, because the problem is if you do not move the bishop now and you go for the same thing, it doesn't work because I have king f2. There with bishop f1 and rook d1, you would be winning a piece back, and then with active rooks, it was actually a nice idea. But I was careful this time. And went for this very nice f4. Which, yeah, like I said, might just win a piece actually. Because the bishop is attacked and simple f5. Yes, the queen goes back. I don't really know what kind of idea is that. Because now I'll definitely just take. Take. I got a piece there. Yes, you're having two rooks, but this knight is so bad. And also you're not really doing damage. So I can take. There also is no check. Not that it would matter too much, you know. And then king f2. There with this king f2. Keeping my two bishops together with the queen. Okay, rook goes there, trying to win the queen this way. But that's why it is so important to have this bishop, so the bishop can just defend. With bishop c3. No rook d2 action. Also, yeah, like this is enough material to win the game. Now, yeah, I think bishop f3 looks very nice. Just to get the rook out of my first rank. I don't have to worry about this pawn too much, you know. It doesn't quite matter. And this knight, you can see how bad that knight is. That's really not a piece you want to be having. Okay, let's go c5 maybe. That might give square on the d5. And though, like I said, this is winning and is enough material to win this, I still have to show quite a bit of technique because, yeah, the rooks are nicely placed. I can only harass them with the bishops. That's just it. Okay, don't take. There would still be this idea. Quite an annoying one. I got this defended, okay, this not so much, but I still, yeah. Okay, so that seems to be the idea. Yeah, so just queen f5, I'll take, and then checkmate. Eh, yeah, so this might be simpler than I thought, in fact, because I don't really see how you stop this. It's, you can go down to d3 to hit the bishop, but once I take, I also defend the bishop. So yeah, definitely much easier and overall better game also than the first one. Could even take with the bishop now, but okay. Take with the queen. Go after g7. I'm defending the bishop. So yeah, there really quite aren't even real threats. Okay, let's go bishop e4 maybe. Why not? To hit the rook, send it back. Oh, okay, now d1 is freed up. But I still do not really care about it too much. I might honestly also just take and then bishop e5, bishop d6 should seal the deal. Yes, the rook's good in a full trade, but I have an escape out, so that's the point. Okay, let's take. Oh yeah, so okay. Once I take, there is queen h8. Yeah, there is now queen h8, king e7, bishop f6, and I'll win a rook, which is going to be it. Yep, there it is. This time, very nice second victory, and yeah, halfway there. Halfway there. So we can go watch some other games. Let's see this one. Also, I've prepared this time that in between the games, get rid of those, yeah. Put on standings. Oh, sorry guys, you don't see that. Yeah, let's put this one up. So yeah, nice first place so far, but more importantly, 2 out of 2. But in meantime, let's play some Puzzle Rush, and it will be just survival. Let me adjust the port a little bit. You can see it, survival, and then play. Okay, so we just checkmate, take the rook. The first puzzles are definitely just elementary for me, but it definitely gets tricky. as you progress. This is very, very classical puzzle rush tactic. Okay, nice checkmate on g7. Careful not to go here. So we take the bishop first. And now this mate in 1. Here we sag the queen to give checkmate. And we check. There would have been a checkmate with the rook. On 30, maybe I can go back here just to see if they are still playing. It would seem that way, so we can go back. That's why I'm playing survival here. Because at any point I can just go back to the tournament. Here we just promote. Oh wow. Oh wow. Why wouldn't you? I mean, there was a check. Okay, let's actually take a look at that, guys. It's loading. But yeah, I don't think about this too much. Because I just feel like instincts should be enough. But what is it then if you don't queen? Might give a check there. Oh, good. Oh, yeah. I saw the fork, but I somehow thought that the pawn was protecting it. So that confused me. Okay. I'll actually quit this one because there is no shot that I'll be getting far. And the games are finishing anyway. And then I might start a new one and focus more. Because I definitely can go like 40 out of 40 puzzles. Okay, still games ongoing, so I might start it over again actually. Even right now, so this is going to be a back rank. This is going to be a back rank also. This is going to be a checkmate. Crisscross checkmate. Then he can just take back rank mate. Back rank mate. Checkmate on g2. And checkmate to the knight. Checkmate in the corner. It's again in the corner. This one I don't see immediately, but it's because it was a backwards move. This one is a checkmate on g2, but yeah, I'll come back again here. It might do a sound when the game starts, but yeah, I don't. I want to be there when I need to be there. This should be a bishop sack, although there is something on g2. There is something going on, but there's got to be a bishop sack, and then queen g7. No. What is it actually now? Because you are tempted to take the rook, but then the king escapes. So, huh? Okay, let's maybe get back that one after the third round. So you can, okay, so you can take the rook and then go back and take the pawn, and that's a simple way to do it. But if you give a check, bishop takes, that's checkmate. And if king, okay, king can go there. I think it's that they just take, honestly. Like you could queen again, but then the queen is... Okay, you could take there. I mean, it's gonna be just taking. But, okay, so... Are there any ongoing games? Seems like there was one. What about that other favorite? over 2200. That was C1. Oh, over here. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I'm on top and this guy's in ninth place, but ultimately it really doesn't matter that much. Still one game ongoing. Like, what is happening in here? Oh, just proving the checkmate with king and the rook. But people are chatting that it will be a draw or something. We'll see. Don't go there. That's still mate. Yeah, this, and mate. Yeah, checkmate. Checkmate in one. Yeah. So there it is. So the next round is starting, and this is the round that I felt a week ago. I would like not to repeat that. Definitely not. Okay, e4, e5. You get a standard opening this time. And the reload pass it is. Now I can go d6 or I can go into those lines. You know what? Let's go d6 actually. And then bishop g4. Then c3. Now you are supposed to go queen f6. I'm thinking whether it was the right choice. Yeah, and probably going into the main lines was better. I don't know. It's not so easy to play such waiting defenses. To choose what opening you wanna play. Okay, yeah, d3. I think that's like the correct approach. Now I think now I should take, like, honestly, yeah. Now is the time you take. Just liquidate like this, and there is nothing to do about f4. So yeah, you do get these positions, and I'm not sure I like them actually that much. Yet I'm playing them sometimes. Yeah, I think I'll go b5 now. Then f5. It might be good. That might be, although you take and then bishop plants itself on e6. Okay, so maybe not then. Maybe not then. So you do what? How do you develop? Sometimes you just struggle with this. Because f4 is incoming. Yeah, f4 is the next move. But yeah, I think I can go 97 and f5 myself. I think so. I got king d7, but it is always somehow just shaky. And I don't know if I like it. f5. Feels like it might ponder something. I don't know why. Okay, I don't see anything immediately. Don't see anything immediate, but yeah, somehow shaky. Hello in the chat. Do you wanna play a game? Not right now, since yeah, I'm playing in a tournament. These are the standings right now, and that will be actually quite it for today. But yeah, I actually did only one stream where I played against viewers, so I might do it again. But in this game, we got this rather maybe confusing bone structure. A lot of captures available, but Viking is not feeling so safe. Gonna say that. Okay, just developing a knight. Fair enough, so now I think I'll go king d7. Now king d7 looks good. Um, yeah, I like king d7 because I couldn't castle long because of this annoying tactic. It might still be there in some lines with the rook on e1. So we'll see about that. I have to play for a win because only 4 out of 4 will secure the spot in top 3, which is what I'm playing for here. Knight into e4, that is interesting. It for sure is. I go rook e8 now. I have this bad bishop simply. Like what am I supposed to do with that bishop? I cannot go g6 now, that's one thing. G6 bishop g7 might have been nice. I cannot do that now. Hmm. Could maybe if I go b4 there, then the spin will reappear. So not advised either. What to do then? Well, I have to figure it out. Okay, I guess I'll just go in with bishop e7. I'll just go in with bishop e7. Could be okay. This knight kinda controls the bishop, and the bishop also controls the knight, so always there is a kind of a relationship between knight and a bishop when they are standing like this, that they are controlling each other quite a lot. Not sure who does that favor now. A4, so now I can go pawn b4, I think. Yeah, because there is no pin. There is no pin now. Yeah, okay, so pawn b4. The bishop can come into d5 and make this pin, however, in which case I might have to go rook b8, which honestly now the b file is a very good file for a rook, because it is, there's a chance it will open up. It's still quite an equal position. What is the way forward? Okay, a5. Interesting. Don't wanna take, guys. Oh, don't wanna keep the tension. Hmm. Yeah, this one might become weak. But so might this one. Not easy. Not easy to handle this. But I think I'll go bishop f6, because I don't think I would mind the knight capturing the bishop in this exact position. No, I wouldn't mind it. I was thinking rook b8 initially, but then this bishop c4 move seemed very annoying. That seemed to be very annoying. And though, yeah, giving up my second bishop is not usually what you want to do, but in that exact position, this bishop was just bad. So on this diagonal, it is good, and if it will be traded for that knight, I think it's a good thing. At least short term. Long term, yeah, the bishops should be better, but short term it seems nice. Also, it would open up G file. I cannot go there, but still okay. Still might use it at some point. And I also now have e7 available. So when I go knight e7, not sure which knight. Perhaps the knight from c6, but the knight from c6 is actually doing more at the moment. But at the same time, the knight on f5 seems to be better. So a bit of a tricky spot to be in. So okay, if I take with the knight, then this pawn won't be very good. So that was one thing I knew that I wouldn't maybe like so much. So in this situation, I wanted to take with the bishop. But then, okay, d4, and I still have to go back. Then I still have to go back. So I might get that anyway. So let's 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 take with the bishop then. But yeah, it's likely not so nice. This one's position. Yeah, now you definitely take the bishop. I would say. If you don't, I'll go back. If you don't, I think I'll go back. Okay, maybe to h4. But this transposition, though I do not have more pawn islands, it's not a thing I would prefer. Okay, bishop g5. Okay, that has surprised me a little. I think that I'll actually quite happily trade. Yeah, I'll happily trade it first bishop and then... Okay, now there is a threat on e6 that I have to defend. I see. Am I able to do it with a simple rook e8? Is that bishop c4 idea? That is there. Hmm. Okay, but yeah, let's do it. Let's go rook a e8. But yeah, I don't think I'm having such a nice position. Oh, and d5. Yes, you get a pawn short term, but that... Oh, oh. Okay, so I have... Oh, so that's actually some problems. I thought that it was fine, but it's not. So I have to go here. Not to lose the exchange. Oh. So I have to go c6. Oh wow, so it's much worse than I thought. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If I escape this, then it's gonna be something. There's no knight e6 now at least. I really wanna get h6 so this knight just goes away. Can I even do that? Because I'm not so sure. I have to do that. Okay, let's do it, but probably, I don't know. Okay, it is getting tough for me here. It is getting tough. Now this is really strong, and this king is super safe. And I'm down a pawn, which, okay, is not so bad if b5 cannot be pushed. Also, it is kinda attacked, and I'm planning to go rook b8. Also, worst time right now. Yeah, what about rook c1, right? What about that? That's maybe a reason why I should have gone rook b8 first, so I could go there with the other rook. Okay, so the knight goes back. That's actually good. It cannot go to d4. Did I move there? Or did I move up? That would be really interesting. But no, I moved down, so b5 is not possible. But now I'll get under quite a bit of pressure. Oh my gosh, imagine this. I mean, it's gonna be so problematic. I'm hanging by a thread. Actually, it might be too much pressure. I don't know. Because this knight e5, it could come in with this two pieces being pinned at the same time. That would be insane. This knight can at least maybe defend, but like maybe if you start with this rook and then let the other rook join. This would be a check, attacking the knight using double pin. Yeah, I really don't like it, and I'm trying to find a way out, but I don't see it. I don't see it if you just simply do these moves combined with 95. Okay, I will be able to go 97. Okay, rook, that rook over there, that's not how you do it, I think. Because you wanted to have now bring the other rook to the d file to have this excellent 95 option. Although, okay, to be fair, this also is not pleasant at all and might still be enough. I don't know, we'll see. Mm. The pin, bro. Bro. Okay, let's go up, I don't know. Okay, even this is bad. Even this is bad for sure. Cannot unpin, that's the big problem. Yeah, now you got this move in mind. But now I can unpin. I might be able to unpin now. Okay, let's just go there. Perhaps king e7 was better. I can unpin. I'm still down a pawn. Oh. So, no way I'm not able to unpin actually. What am I? This might either put... No, that's bad. Mm. Bro, no way. Again, the third game. This time it will be kinda deserved, but yeah, no, just... Yeah, I think it was a bad opening choice. It was a bad opening choice, actually. I really quite regretted that, but man, again, the third round. This time around, I just played badly. I just played first, and I mean, how is it that I lose to 1900s? Not that those pairs would be bad, but I'm just better, you know. I just am, but man, yeah, I should have just gone for the main line, knight f6. I even prefer it nowadays. I even prefer it nowadays against d6, but somehow just thought and forgot that it actually is those structures. And yeah, okay, queen f6. In this position actually is quite good. Okay, yeah, here you're just supposed to go on knight f6. I just forget about it always. 97. Okay, so maybe 97 without that inclusion of b5. That might make sense. Because I was not better the whole game. That's quite an issue. Yeah, this maneuver was not good. And then I was just in trouble. Yeah, after getting myself into that pin. Yeah, I just gave way too easy play to my opponent. Like there was not a single really tough moment. Yeah, I really kind of felt it in the opening, man. Like yeah, I definitely see how this can happen. Like okay, the line is fine up until this point where I'm sure I've already seen it. Also, okay, knight f6 is fine, g6 is fine, knight e7 is fine, but still, I remember that f4 was a problem, and yeah, simply after this b5 move, there was not really anything complicated. So it's actually believable that even a 1900 could have outplayed me in this game, because yeah, really nothing complicated when I look at it now. Man. And yeah, dropping even more rating because yeah, I just played this last week. I lost a game like this too, even though that game was actually really winning for me, and I played very good up until the last blunder in a time scramble. This game was just bad. But yeah, it just loses a lot of rating points, and then I don't gain anything. So also dropping that, not good. I just have to get it. I don't know if I'll be able to play next week, actually. I don't know if I can play next week, so then I don't know. Next week, yeah, I mean, maybe, but also not maybe. Okay, we'll see. But okay, well, let's finish this tournament. But oh wow, this cannot happen 2 times in a row. But yeah, this actually, yeah, like I said, really comes down to actually not a not a good opening. Next time I just have to go into those main lines and actually refused it for some reason that I remember that I lost to an opponent like this in the martial attack once. But that was actually a bit of a different circumstance, so should have been that scared to go for it. Waiting the last game. How many games? I'm going one. Okay, let's watch it then. Oh no. Oh no, it's this one. It is this one. Man, like yeah, I get it. I get the fact that a draw doesn't really do anything. But yeah, it will be actually a draw soon by the 50 move rule. We'll get the last game. Um, last capture. Okay, it will happen actually. Once black moves, it will be 50 moves. There it is. Let's actually at least win the last round, but like, man, really. In a rapid online, somehow just cannot find myself playing on a level that I would want to. Oh man, what is this? What is this? Okay, I mean, let's take then. It will be for long castles for sure at this point. So let's just go a4. A4 claims space, and also it might scare black away from doing the long castles. Going h5. Funny. Okay, a5. Take even more space. Yeah, now a6. Let's go c4. Just push those pawns on the queen side. Okay, knight c3. Nice defending. On e4. Just more space. Goes to g6 with some attacking intentions, I'm pretty sure. I would definitely like to open up the center somehow, because the king is just weak, but how do you get to it? e5 can't really open it up this way. Or can you? Maybe you could. Maybe you could. Maybe also queen b3. Actually, queen b3 looks looks quite good. Yeah, I like queen b3 going after the weak b7 pawn. Okay, c6 is a move, but now when I go e5, there will be no queen on d1, and I can also open the center quite a bit with d5. So now I'll go either d5 or e5. Pawn takes, and e5. This is not really what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I think I'll go e5. And then I can also get a knight to b6. With a fork, I can get a rook to d1. Maybe d5 led to something, but couldn't see anything after the trades of the c pawn and closing the e file. Couldn't find anything there. Let's go knight a4 now. Go after that b6 square. And it's like, okay, you do not defend that. The rook will have to move. The knight will be awesome in that square. Okay, I'll just go there. Just go in with the knight. And then I also have options. Okay, just forgot about your rook in the corner. And the knight will get back, so this is a queen rook. And okay, the queen. Yeah, I play such a game in game 3 and then this happens. Oh wow. Well, okay, let's do some puzzles and wait till the tournament finishes to just see the standings, but yeah. Hoping that next time I'll actually break whatever this is and get that for out of 4. Yeah, you take do Rook takes, and the queen doesn't have to take. Okay, you can also just take the knight. No, you cannot. Okay, that's just to take on c6. Yeah. Now the queen is hit, but if I take, both of these things will be hit. So that's what you do here. I mean, yeah, you do this, and this checkmate. You win a rook this way. Now I can check. I mean, I have to checkmate. Winning a knight is not enough. Check. King a2. That is defended by the queen. Okay, so this is the way to go. In that case, this, and you win the queen. Here, knight c3 it is, using the pin, and then checkmate. Then you take once, and then get a back ring mate by sacrificing the queen. And then, okay, e5 is possible, and then you take with the queen, so you don't get checkmated. This is a very nice checkmate, sacking the queen, taking, and then mating with the rook. This is a classic tactic. You take with the knight on g6 and win the rook. I think I take. Yeah, I think I take and then queen c1. Because, okay, I take and then I have a queen, yeah. Okay, so I take the queen and then take the rook. Yeah, rook e1 it is. You take and then checkmate on d8. Oh wow, what a weird position this is. However, it's not as hard as it may seem because, yeah, that's just checkmate on back rank once again. Now you take in the corner to win the bishop. Very nice. This will be a rook sacrifice, I'm pretty sure. To check with the rook, and then is there anything better than capturing the queen? I do not see anything. This one I should probably do something about a knight. King check. King h7, king h2. I can also go like rook e8. That could be smart, actually. Knight e2 then. That is an idea of this. Trapping the king. So okay, this is not as simple. This is not that simple. I think that you do give a check, and then you go rook e8. Oh wow. Let's take a look at it then. I see that I'm not really doing so good today with chess as a whole. Can you do this? So you can. You don't mind. Yeah, I saw this. You don't mind the pawn on g7, do you? So yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, you have to attack now. What is this? Okay, so you just push. Okay, never mind. Let's see if it has finished. No, still plenty of games ongoing. Yeah, it will be on for quite a while. So okay, one mistake, not good. This one, you just go for checkmate. Unstoppable. You have to sack and then go in with the queen. Nice checkmate. This one is nice. You sack the queen. Check. And now which check? Now which check is it? Which one? Okay, I see that this was the queen, so you can go f5 now. Now you can take with the queen. Interesting one. It will be about getting the king there so I can win the rook. Definitely. So what if I check and then that will get the king there, and if king runs up, there is a fork. Okay, so the king goes back immediately. Oh yeah, and now you take and when the rook back with the fork. Okay, very nice. Okay, here you check and then this and then checkmate. Now we can use a double check. I'll check if it's beneficial in any way. We can do that. We can, and yeah, it actually is. Now we sack and checkmate. This rook actually very important. This one I'll point out. Very important not to go there with that rook, because this seems that it is also checkmate, but the queen can slide in and defend. This way, yes, the rook can defend, but there is a bishop, so I can checkmate that way. Simple checkmate. This one seems a bit messy, so it's not so clear to me immediately. Oh, I'll also go here for this one maybe, so we can guys see that I'm at 42 right now. Yeah, this puzzle is messy. But it will be something with this check, maybe. Hmm, not so clear. Oh, so it is this, it is a check, check, and then you, okay. So it's not so complicated after all. Once you see through this, okay. Still, there is a variation needed, but from that point, it was not so difficult to see through. So, I think I already see it. Yeah, I do. So you need to create a checkmate on h3 with the rook, and you do it by playing g5. Now you do not take because the king would escape, but you rather give this check, this one, and then rook h2 checkmate. Oh wow! So with which pawn did we take back? I think with the d pawn, although doesn't seem like there is a difference. Oh, there is. I think with the b pawn now. Because okay, if I take with the d pawn, okay, so the bishop cannot go to e5. That's my miscalculation then. Okay, then what if I take with the b pawn? What happens then? Is it I cannot push this pawn, so isn't the king just? Yeah, the king is just in time, so you have to take with the d pawn. That's simple. Quite simple, and here you cannot go like that. The bishop would stop both of the pawns, so you queen this way. Okay, very nice. Uh-huh. I see this one. This is a very nice one. You'll use this pin to go rook e8 with the rook. Now you are not going to recapture immediately. You'll give this check first and take the rook, and only then take the queen back. This one will have something to do with these things. Do take first, sometimes you would, but here definitely not. I think you just take and take and then I don't know what, maybe a bishop e6. That might be enough. Yeah, now we take the rook. Okay, nice. This one is not very difficult. You need not to checkmate you, but you gotta hunt down the rook. It's actually fairly simple. You just give this check now, and the game you could lose the knight, but we don't care. What about this one? Immediately calculating this check, the most obvious one. What happens? What are they doing? Okay, some games still left. Hmm. Then I don't see anything afterwards, to be honest. So it might be something else, not the first obvious check. Although then you can take on g2, hit the rook, defend this. Oh, okay, so that actually, yeah, seems to be it. Now you have to decide. I think I'm thinking about this check, so the rook can go in. Yep, got it there. So how do we escape here? If I go there, there is rook g8. Okay, but then there is check, king h8, and there is nothing afterwards. So if I go down, doesn't really seem to be any different. So if I go up to h3, this, rook e4. Okay, this is confusing because it feels like there is no way I can save the queen. Up there, check, check, but that doesn't achieve anything. So let's go back to this idea maybe for a bit, and then king g2, is that any different? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, this is where it gets tough around, yeah, puzzle 50. Around that. Oh, oh, so I think I got it. At least the idea. You go say king g3, rook g8, check, king h8, rook d8. So yeah, you pin that way. That's amazing. Now, what is the difference between these two moves? Okay, if I go to g3, there's also this idea. Here, that thing doesn't work. If I go there, it is even worse for sure. So if I go to g1, there is this check, and then I have dodged it. Yeah, so okay, you have to go king g1. That is insane. Now you give a check, and now rook d8, and you get the rook and you're out of it. But that one was tough. Let's go back to the tournament. Still, games ongoing. We can continue with this puzzle rush. Okay, another one that we're starting under a check. And a lot of options. 3. That's not a lot. This one seems the best, and I think that it will simply be it, because otherwise this, and yeah, and it would be bad. So you do this instead. And now can you maybe go for checkmate immediately instead of grabbing a queen and something like along those lines? Oh, so you do that and then you grab the queen. Got it. Okay, so the tournament has ended, actually. 15th place. But yeah, if we go to the standings once again, 4 to 4 is top 3, which is what you need. This dude actually also lost the last round. The two favorites, the two 2200s, going into this. But okay, I think I should finish this. I think I should finish this puzzle rush and then I'll wrap it up. But I'll see where I can go. My PB is 64, so maybe I can at least beat this here, if nothing else. A7 comes to mind, just the queen. Are there any threats to my king? Immediate threats? Doesn't seem that way. I could sack somehow, but that's not going to help. A7 just feels like it's the move. Seems like a nice move to make. You can also take on F7. Rook G7. Nah, that cannot be it. Let's try it. Yeah, A7. Okay, that's correct. However, I saw that the queen can just stop the opponent. What did it really achieve? Like, okay, the queen is not on c3, but it's not that it would be really doing anything anyway. In regards to my attack. Maybe I can sack those rooks to promote. That could be the idea. I could imagine that being what you go for. So okay, you sack. Ah, yeah, because now it makes sense. This check and everything. Yeah, now it makes sense. Yeah, because that's why you promote. Okay. 52. Queen 1 to g2 now? Oh, what now? I missed it completely. Knight e6 was played. Bishop hanging, queen hanging. Bishop can take. There is rook on the diagonal. The queen is placed like it might get trapped. Kinda. Wild position again. Hmm. This one, yeah, now it is really getting tough. Like 50 plus is tough. I can get most of them, but I have to think for quite some time. I could go f3, honestly. Like it could be that you go f3 to shut down the diagonal, and then you take the knight, and then you take the bishop because yeah, it is equal material. F3 knight takes, pawn takes, and the rook is under attack. So yeah, that's gonna be the solution. Okay, so seems messy, but in the end, actually not as complicated. What was the move? E5, hitting my queen. Also, there is a checkmate on G7 to watch out for, but I'm up a piece. meaning I have to survive and that's it. Just gotta survive. The first obvious move is to take on e5 with the queen. Because you defend. Yeah, that just makes sense. What else could be the move? Okay, so let's focus. How else could I even defend the checkmate? Charlie can be moving the g pawn. Can be this, moving the knight, moving the rooks. I could sack the queen, but I don't see it being the solution. So yeah, this is an obvious first move then. By the process of elimination. Rook f5, I have to keep my queen connected to that g7. So I could take, but then c3 will shut me down for good. So the move will be rook to c4. I'm pretty sure that that's the way, because then you take. Yeah, that seems nice. And I found all that just by process of elimination, because there really were no other moves to save it. 54. I need 11 more for the PB. I got 64. That's the best I got. G3, why would you play it? And give up a piece like that. I'm sure there is more to it. But that would be a piece. You could take and then there is something on d8. Yeah, I see. There is definitely more to it. However, might be that I just take and then defend. Cannot move the bishop. Could play something like bishop e4, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, okay, you could take and then take with bishop. Is my queen getting trapped? No, it's not. It's okay. I'll just take and defend then. Go back. Knight to d5. What happens if I take then? There could be a check. Captures. I can go back to d8 and I'm probably okay. Am I though? Yeah, I think I am. But also capturing seems like it's fine. Though bishop b5 is annoying. If you go there, okay, so I take bishop check. If I go up, that's that's quite a checkmate. How am I doing? Oh, on Twitch. Oh wow, that's actually a really long time then. Yeah, I kinda gave up on Twitch because it's easier to be on just one platform for me. But yeah, right now I'm disappointing how the tournament went. But I'll try again next time, and hopefully I can break the third round finally. But currently trying to beat my PB in Puzzle Rush, which is 64. I got 54 right now. And having this position, I either take or Queen d8. Queen d8 seems like it should hold if this check like that. Queen takes. Yeah, like I actually quit Twitch because of yeah, I was making videos on YouTube, so that was just the main reason. Okay, I think queen d8 is fine here. Yeah, and yeah, it was correct. Because I thought saw the line with bishop e5 would be unpleasant. Okay, another wild one, facing two queens. But I'm on the move in an open position, so I'm sure that I should checkmate now. It hasn't moved a bit. It is still the same, 2200. Just 2200. I'm just waiting till it eventually blow up, I guess. To be fair, I'm also much more focusing now on my performance in classical chess, though. Yeah, I mean, it might be totally possible. Like, to be fair, really watch. I don't actually use Twitch at all. Like, yeah, my preferred platform is YouTube for everything. Okay, I can try up the mic. Do I? I don't think so. I'll check though. No, I don't. It might just be a little far away. I don't know. Let's try to put it on something then. Is it better now? But okay, I should also go go back to puzzle. Even though it is nice chatting with you. It is nice chatting with you. This obvious check on F file. So the king will move, and then there is check on G4. Yeah, but like I can imagine that actually. Like I'm just not the type of guy that would behave that way. However, simply when you stream, I mean, it is actually the thing about streaming is that at least for me it is that way that I don't play as good as when I'm not streaming, simply because of the fact that you get distracted a little bit, so then you might blunder more and so on. So yeah, then losing a bad game. Uh, I'm more disappointed that way than angry when that happens. But I can imagine. I definitely can. But okay, again, let's go back to the puzzle. I think this check, and then okay, if king h2, you go rook f2, and then that's checkmate. Sounds about the same. I can try to up it up a little, but I have to open some settings. Okay. Uh-huh. So okay, let's. Oh, it might be the camera mic after all. I'm not even that sure. But that no, I don't think so. Because now it should be the camera. Yeah, now it is the camera. Now I'm sure you will hear a difference. But actually, thank you for this because yeah, I don't realize these things, so I can fix them for also future streams. So very useful. because I do struggle with these things from time to time. Uh-huh. If you are using the webcam mic, it will sound a lot worse than. Yeah, yeah, I know about that, but yeah, I don't know. I actually used it for a little there, so maybe you heard it. I don't know. But no, I'm pretty sure this. Okay, it's not really visible. This mic that I got. But okay, let's try to do a little bit with it. Okay, is it okay? Is it better now? Is it better now? We'll see. I'll try to do something with the chest also though, because I'm stuck over here for a bit of time already. So yeah, I give this check then. King goes there. Queen f2, king back to h1. Unclear. Oh well, okay. Still, oh my gosh. Okay, so let me try to do this thing. It might be, I don't know. It might be too loud now. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I changed it again. I just changed it again. But it's gotta be this, right? So yeah, that was the first move. I'm thinking actually it's not this, but it will be. Yeah, it is actually rook g7. I see it now. Because when the king goes there, that's mate, and when the king goes there, that's checkmate. Yeah, is it? But do you think that it is still needed to go a bit higher or not? Because I can do it, but I just don't hear it. So you tell me. That would be very helpful actually. Okay, so well, I can try even more. Can try even more. Okay, yeah, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Solve that puzzle. So, okay. Thank you for the feedback then, because this actually really helps me. Like I actually don't really have a way to realize these things very nicely. Okay, so this puzzle, if I give this check, the queen just blocks and it's over, it seems. So I give this check. The queen cannot block. I could also give a check with the g pawn, but that doesn't seem like that's it. I could though give this check, queen blocks. Oh, so it might be this check. Yeah, queen f7, queen f6, g4, king g5. Yeah, okay, I see. Then f4, if king takes, you win the queen, and if pawn takes, you give a checkmate there. Yeah, and now f4, and also, okay, what if the queen takes? That's the thing I did not see. What if the queen takes? If the queen takes, you give a checkmate on g7. Okay, very nice. Next puzzle. 57 out of 65. 65 is the goal. 65 would be awesome. they get progressively more difficult. You can see that the last puzzle was actually rated 3000. We can win a knight this way, but are we surviving then? We might. We actually might. Will I go for it? I think so. I don't really have anything else to do. Yeah, I think I'll win the knight and then just defend. That seems good. That is a check on h1 and also a check on h3. However, I need to defend over here right now. But I think that you'll do exactly that using the queen. Because if I take, there is a perpetual check. So, gotta give a check on h3, king e2, queen g4, and then I can take. Okay, so check over here, and yeah, if the king went there, I could have taken with the queen this way. I cannot because of rook g1. So if I take with the pawn, rook g1 anyway, how do I defend then? Oh, you defend with knight e5 because that defends g6 and also that will be fork. That's very nice. That is very nice. Next puzzle. Bishop on a nice long diagonal. Queen and rook in the attack. The knight is not doing a whole lot. But yeah, as always, I'm also very vulnerable with my own king, so I have to give checks very likely, as it usually is in a puzzle rush. So capturing the bishop doesn't seem to work. Sacking the queen, there is no chance. So maybe you do not actually have to give a check immediately. Maybe you don't have to give a check immediately. What about rook f7? Bishop g7. Oh wow, is rook d4 possible by any chance? Rook check, king h3, queen f1, king g4, and no more checks. No more checks, that's good. But okay, what happens if you actually just take and you chill? Not much, so okay, it's not capturing on d4 then. Yeah, I think it's just rook f7 then. Rook f7, bishop g7. But then what? Queen somewhere to attack the bishop, I guess. Hi, Tiger. It is going. The tournament was not good. Again, just 3 out of 4. But this Puzzle Rush going currently really good. Trying to get 65. That would be my PB. I think it's rook f7. Okay, just made a mistake. Never mind, we'll take a look at the ones I had incorrectly afterwards. Okay, so let's checkmate now in this next puzzle. Queen f2, king c3, check. We can also just win this rook and that would be enough. We could win the rook from f8. That would be interesting. Okay, a lot of checks to calculate. Like, yeah, these puzzles are really hard. You can calculate through, but it takes time. It does. Like, this is the most obvious check, but after king c3, I don't see much. Like, okay, if king goes back, then maybe knight c4 looks nice. But if king c2, what would it be then? Check there. Could maybe win that pawn. Also, actually winning either rook is good. Winning either rook is good enough. If I check here, king e3, check, king f3, I take, king is there, okay. King e2, check, king back to e3. And we get stuck, I think. We get stuck that way. Okay, there could be knight c4. But no, we definitely get stuck. Not do we? Because then this, if the king goes there. Check if the king goes there. I check. I mean, this is really complicated. Like, I could get this, but I would have to sit here for like 15 minutes. Because this is way too many lines. This check, okay, what if the king just goes back? What happens then? Okay, I've checked there. That's enough. If king there, I give a check here. Then king c2, check. Okay, that's not good. So maybe this line. But then also I could just proceed with sacking the knight. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, king goes there. What happens then? That's the only line I see that doesn't look good. Uh-huh. Maybe then queen f2. King c1 will happen anyway. Oh my gosh. Which one is it? Like, this seemed like it was working. Kinda. But what about something like king c2? What about that? Check. Okay, this one doesn't seem to work. So, I believe that it is knight c4. Then, let's check, let's say. King c1, and I got this. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I got it. I got it, yeah, it took a while, but got it. This one seems simpler, because less pieces. And also, you kinda have the idea that you have to queen those pawns. So if I don't push c2 now, if I don't do it now, if I push a5, we'll see knight e1, I'm pretty sure. And then, would I be stuck? No, I wouldn't. What is the difference? Okay, so I think that's it. I cannot go c7 first, I think. Because then knight c5, I queen. Okay, it would be with check though. So I can. It would be with check. So okay, if c2, king goes somewhere, king goes to d4, I push, and everything seems to be good. So the pawns would have to push. Now I don't see a reason why not to push c2 first. Yeah. So yeah, white doesn't do anything. Pushes the f pawn, so I'll push the a pawn now. Is there any difference between a6 now? There cannot even be. Now there might be a difference. There could be a difference, maybe. No, there isn't. Just go. Okay, I take the knight and that's it. Okay. 60. I'm going for 5 more. Is a little ambitious, but hoping to get it. Hoping to get it. This one seems rather easy. This one seems way too easy. I take with a knight. I sack the queen. Okay, but I threaten checkmate. If you take, that's checkmate. Not that terrible. That's checkmate too. So you would have to take the queen. And then I have a discovered check. Okay. But actually, apparently, bishop is under attack by the queen. So that's a bit of a problem. That is a little bit of a problem. So maybe it's something else. Okay, let's stick with it for a bit longer. What if I take on e8 and the queen takes? Okay, I'm already down a piece, so I cannot do that. Cannot go for material that way. I could actually just take with the bishop. That's another way to do it. And if something takes on e4, that's a problem. It's not so simple, however, I think I see it. I think I have it. Yeah, it is very nice. Knight g5, I see it. Knight g5. Okay, we can take, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, give up all the pieces. Then you give a check here, and it would have been a smothered checkmate. So yeah, that was very nice. Fine. 61. White to move. Am I going forward? Yes, I am. Only 2 squares from queening on both sides. This doesn't seem hard. But the problem is that the bishop it cannot stop both of them. But once I push h7, king can get closer, and then the king would be stopping the a7 pawn. So, if I go a7, the check will have, not the check, but the bishop would have to give a check and go for the pawn. Let's actually ignore the knight. I don't care about the knight right now. Let's step up, bishop takes. Now let's try to eliminate, try to block the bishop so it cannot return back on this diagonal. That will be the goal. So the bishop is there. You have to defend d4. You can do it with the knight. Knight c2 is possible. Then bishop b8 would have to be played. Only move. We have to defend e5 now. And I can do it with king e4. f5 doesn't do anything. King e6, check. If king goes there, isn't it way too close then? Yes, it is. So I cannot allow that. So I first go there. Bishop gets to the diagonal. I give a check. If bishop takes, I queen. So the king, if it goes there, I queen. And if it goes somewhere else, I take the bishop. And if it goes to d6, I have to figure out what I do next. I check, king goes back. But I don't see a way to break through. Oh man. It's gotta be something along those lines for sure. I have already a pawn on h7. Okay, what about just attack the bishop? Nah, I don't think that's it. You can go to corner and nah. Okay, that is not the way. But it's gonna be a7. Okay, it's not done. It was the wrong idea all along, so let's just take a look at the puzzles I got wrong. Yeah, okay, we already saw this puzzle. I got the puzzle wrong early on. It was a check, and then you go rook 8 is what I applied, yeah. Rook 8 is what I applied. The correct solution is rook d1. And now you go. So I still don't remember it. Great. Oh yeah, you just push the pawn. Okay. Anyway, that was that puzzle, but now let's get to the more difficult ones. This one I got wrong. This one I went for rook f7, I'm pretty sure. So let's play around a little. Maybe this, okay. Queen f7, nah. I don't want to go around trying every single move. Okay, not capturing with the rook, not with the bishop. Okay, fine. Queen f7 also looks sensible. Rook f1. Nah, that would be way too weird. Queen f5, not even that. Okay, how about, nah. That also doesn't make sense. Yet I tried it. This is just invisible to me. Oh, no way. No way it's 95. Now you take. Yeah, oh my goodness. But that's such an insane move. Like knight e5 can be taken by 3 different pieces, but okay. If you take with the knight, it gives up d4 immediately. If you take with the rook, it gives up the bishop. Also, if you don't take, I guess there are quite serious threats, and it also stops the rook. And if you take with the queen, you just take. If knight takes, you take, and then you take the queen. Okay, that was very insane. I'm not surprised I didn't get that. But let's see this one. Last one. The thing is, the king is just way too close. I thought that you have to push and then try to be asked in play, not let the bishop back to this diagonal. It's not pushing the other pawn. It's gonna be okay. It's not knight c2 either. So king e3. Okay, so these were the 4 moves that made the most amount of sense. So now we go to definitely much less sensible moves. At first look, you could hit the bishop, you could sag. Oh, what difference does this make though? I see it, but it's so dumb. Yeah. What this does is that there is no pawn, so you can still defend both of these 2 squares only with the king. Okay. Well, anyway, you always have to get 3 puzzles wrong. In a puzzle where I still manage to get 65, which would be my PB. This is actually the second highest, yeah, of all time that I got. But okay, that was the stream. The main thing was the tournament, and this puzzle rush was prolonged for quite a bit. But okay, we'll try again next week. Hopefully I can. We'll see about that though. And also I'll try to find more time, even though it is, yeah, kind of tough for me. But anyway.